In today's video, we have some injury updates to discuss around the NHL, including Vancouver Canucks rookie forward Elias Pettersson, plus a member of the Winnipeg Jets has been claimed off waivers by the Colorado Avalanche. We'll discuss all that coming up next. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. We review and discuss all 31 NHL teams, so if you're a huge hockey fan, consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. So as I mentioned off the top, we have some injury updates to discuss today, and we also have a waiver wire claim as well. The Winnipeg Jets had placed forward Marco Dano on waivers yesterday, and he has been claimed by the Colorado Avalanche. This will be Marco Dano's fourth team in his young career. He was originally a 2013 first-round selection by the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, you may not be aware of this, but the Austrian-born winger has been involved in some pretty big trades throughout his time, even though he was a smaller piece of the puzzle here. He was originally traded from the Blue Jackets to the Blackhawks in the trade that sent Brandon Saad to Chicago. He was later then involved in a big trade between the Jets and the Hawks, which sent former Jets captain Andrew Ladd back to Chicago. So that's where how he's landed, where he is with Winnipeg. But of course, like a lot of other guys, he's kind of struggled to find his spot in the lineup, struggled to get his playing time, and is this the victim here of the numbers game with the Jets? Kind of like what happened with Joel Armia, who ended up being traded to the Habs here this offseason as a kind of a cost-cutting measure here as well. So Dano kind of fell out of favor, and combination of things just ended up on waivers, and he has been claimed by Colorado. So I do think, like Armia, he can kind of find a spot in the lineup here in another team, and hopefully flourish and get his career on track. During his time with the Winnipeg Jets, he got into 83 games, put up 10 goals and 12 assists for 22 points, so really not too bad considering a lot of those games he had limited ice time and really didn't see any time on special teams as well. So overall, I think Marco Dano's a pretty decent hockey player, and hopefully he gets a bigger opportunity with Colorado to get his career on track here than he did with Winnipeg. This past weekend, we saw some pretty significant injuries to a couple guys around the NHL, so we have injury updates on guys like Elias Pettersson and Jay Beagle of the Canucks, as well as Justin Schultz of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now, Justin Schultz is probably the most severe of the group. He's expected to be out of the lineup for approximately 4 months with a fractured left leg that did require surgery as well. So he's going to be out of action likely until late February, if not into March. So he will only be back for the home stretch of the regular season, and that's if everything goes well. So that's certainly not going to help matters with the Pittsburgh blue line. They're really going to have to rely on guys like Olli Maatta to play better and maybe get youngster Riikola even more playing time as well. So that's certainly a big blow for the Pittsburgh Penguins. They've already had goalie Matt Murray suffering from a concussion right now. Doesn't look like Murray's going to be out too long, but still, you never know with concussions. So that's certainly a couple of big blows here for the Penguins that is not going to help matters here. So they're really going to need their young blue liners to step up in his absence. Now, Jay Beagle of the Vancouver Canucks is going to be out of action for about 4 to 6 weeks as well. He ended up leaving their last game here against the Florida Panthers with a fractured forearm. So it's likely going to be closer to the 6 weeks would be my guess. You could tell he was in a lot of pain when he left the game. So that's not great news for Jay Beagle to start his career here with the Vancouver Canucks with a fairly significant injury, going to keep him out of the lineup here for some time. But of course, in Vancouver, the bigger concern is rookie sensation Elias Pettersson, who, as we discussed here in yesterday's video, was basically chokeslammed to the ice by Panthers defenseman Mike Matheson. Matheson did have his hearing with NHL Player Safety today, just a couple hours ago. We are waiting for the league's decision if they're going to proceed with a suspension, and if so, how many games. I do fully suspect we will likely have that outcome sometime later today, so there will be a video out either later today or tomorrow discussing the outcome of that once the league and Player Safety makes the results public. In the interim, though, looks as though Pettersson has been diagnosed with a concussion. According to an update I just saw on Twitter from TSN's Bob McKenzie, it indicates that Pettersson is going to remain traveling with the Canucks through the remainder of their road trip here. They still have 2 games left. So he's going to remain with the club instead of heading back to Vancouver. But obviously he's not going to play, mostly as a precaution. They said the Canucks are basically saying at this point, it's safe to say Pettersson won't play for at least 7 to 10 days. You never know with concussions. They're very hard to predict. Each one of them are kind of unique in its own and how the player recovers. So it's hard to put a timetable on it. But obviously for precautionary reasons, I guess they're optimistically saying that he could be out of the lineup for 7 to 10 days. But like I said, it could very well be longer. Only time will tell how he recovers and if the symptoms kind of subside here. So let's hope for the best for Elias Pettersson. He was off to a fantastic start to his NHL career. He's clearly going to be the franchise player, I believe, for the Canucks and the player that they've been waiting to get in their lineup for a long time. So it certainly will be a major shame if he's going to be out of the lineup for any lengthy period of time here. So let's hope for the best for him, and we'll await word from NHL Player Safety on their decision whether or not they're going to suspend Panther defenseman Mike Matheson. Based on the fact that he was offered a phone hearing and not an in-person hearing, it's likely going to be a maximum of 5 games. I will be even a little bit surprised if it is the maximum of 5 games there. I do think it's quite possible it could end up being 2 or 3. As much as it was a very careless, unnecessary, violent act, Matheson does not have a history, so it's really hard to say how the league is going to rule here. We don't really have much of another recent situation to kind of compare this to, so I guess we'll await word from the league, which we should have here soon. Like I said, we'll have a video out discussing that suspension once that result is known. One last quick piece of business here. The New York Islanders have signed veteran forward Steven Gionta to a 1-year deal for the remainder of this season at $650,000. The Islanders have had him in training camp on a tryout for quite some time. He's been kind of hanging around. They're kind of debating whether or not they're going to sign him. They've ran into some situation with some injuries, so they decided to give him a contract. Now, he is on waivers, so he could possibly be claimed. I do think the odds are probably slim, but because of the condition... Because of the terms of his contract and when he's signing, he does have to clear waivers in order to be brought on to their NHL roster. So he will be on waivers until noontime tomorrow. So we'll see if anybody claims Gionta. If not, he'll jump into the Islanders lineup here in their next game. But I do fully suspect that those odds of him being claimed are probably slim. So that's all your news and notes and updates here for today. We'll be back at you when we have some further updates. If you're new to the channel here, I hope you consider subscribing. We cover all 31 NHL teams, and there is plenty of content here for all hockey fans to enjoy. So if you're new, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button as well. I'd appreciate it if you did. As always, thank you very much for watching, everybody. We will catch you next time.